Hi everyone, welcome back. Now this video might be a little bit too much for some of y'all naysayers out there, but I have to bring it. So on my business page that I own, I posted a meme. Very straight to the point meme. I like to share things that empower me, because if it empowers me, it can empower many other people, right? So I do own a non-profit literary organization called Ubawa. I found it way back in 2009. I think I was living in Jacksonville, Florida. I launched it, I think, in 2010. And it stands for Urban Books, Authors and Writers of America. You guys can go look it up and do the research on that. But I posted this meme, and this was back in April. Wow, time flies. This was back April 27th, and we are in June. Okay, today is June 15th. It seems like it's so long ago, but it seems like I just posted this like yesterday. Anyway, when I posted the meme, I had no idea it would go viral. I mean, sometimes we have an idea of how some posts may function just based on like the energy you put into the video, right? Like I can kind of get a feel like what videos of mine will go viral. Sometimes you just don't know with posts, right? So this is a post, right? This is a photo that I shared. Actually, I think I posted it on Instagram, and I dual posted it to Facebook at the same time when I posted it to Instagram. So it says, $100,000 is coming to you. Claim it, right? And I'm just like, yes. When I first saw this photo, I'm like, oh yes, I have to share it, right? Because I just feel like it was speaking to me. You know, some things aren't meant for everyone. Everybody is not meant to be great, so to speak. Everybody's not meant to be a leader. Everyone is not meant to be an influencer. Everybody not meant to be a millionaire. But if it's for you, claim it, right? And so I posted it as I do most things I post it and I let it go with the wind. Whatever happens with the post happens with the post, right? But then you begin to notice, like, wow, a lot of people are commenting on this post. I'm like, okay, it went viral. And of course, people have shared it. And I didn't even realize how many people had commented until I saw this comment that I'm going to read you guys that came in 4 weeks ago. See how late I am? Because I'm telling you, I live my life in the present moment. My life is just always, my life is always evolving. So I always have something going on, right? So sometimes I miss things. She made this comment 4 weeks ago, but it just came across my radar. And sometimes I have to laugh. Like, sometimes you gotta laugh, at just doubters, right? Like, people just faith. And I don't hang around people like this, by the way. But I am going to read what she says, right? I can't be around low vibrational people. It's just, it does something to me, right? So she says, I mean, seriously? Do y'all get a kick out of this shit? All for likes and shares? And I was just like, what? I forgot all about this post because so much has happened since, talking about April? Yo, your girl then fucking defended her dissertation. I'm freaking Dr. Leach now. I done fucking did a cap and gown photo shoot, by the way. You guys gotta go check out those photos. They're so beautiful. Like, I've done so much. I just signed an offer letter for a postdoc. Like, my life is just continuing to rise, right? But then, okay, this happens here. All for likes and shares. I'm like, did I post this for likes and shares? I wasn't thinking that. I posted it because I like to empower my people. It does something for me when I give back and I empower my people. Now, what people choose to do with it, if they want to share it, they share it. I didn't ask for people to share this post. Nowhere in the post did I say, oh, share this post and you're going to get $100,000. No, that's silly. That's like a chain letter. That's silly. I didn't say that. I posted, I shared it. It says $100,000 is coming to you. Yes. Claim it. Right? And force this person to come on there 4 weeks ago. Just hate, and look at the hate. But it's not even, I don't take hate personal, because I realize that much of what people project onto the world, right, to their external world, has a lot to do with them, their own internal psyche, right? Now, of course, I had to go back and look at her profile. I'm like, who would say such a thing? And she's melanated, right? But listen, I had to read the replies to her comment, right? So this very wise brother replied to her, and he says, pray, it might be you. It might be you. Like, we need brothers like that in the community to inspire black sisters who have very little faith, very little self-esteem in themselves, right? He said, pray, it might be you. Positivity. I love that. Positivity, right? She replies back to him, praise God out loud, not over social media. He don't got a Facebook, but I'm sure he hears your heart and knows your mind. Whoa, went right over her head, yo. You can tell when something just goes right over a person's head. This is not about publicly praising God out loud. This man is trying to bestow blessings upon her. You see what happens when you try to bestow blessings upon a person who lacks faith? You see how she bounced back? She comes back. She gives him an undercut, as if to go into a debate, an argument, right? Like, girl, what is wrong with you? Why are you so argumentative? Then I think another brother comes, right? Trying to get into her head. Another brother comes. He says, so what, you missing the point, sis? Who the fuck cares if you get money or not? Or like or shares? Moral of the story is, if you have faith. If you have faith. Moral of the story, still trying to put it through her head, yo. And then she replies, it's not gonna happen. Poor thing. But she's not saying it's not going to happen for the people who shared it, for the people who believe in it, for the people who said amen under the post. She's not saying it's not going to happen for them. She's saying it will never happen for herself. Understand, when you speak things out into the universe and you are trying to speak into someone else's life, you are speaking into your own life. You're speaking into your own soul. Those words are spoken to your soul before it reaches another person, right? It had to pass through her own soul, her own mind spoke this to herself first. She says it's not going to happen. They just do this for comments, likes, and shares. 44,499 shares. And then when I read the comment, I had to go. I'm like, damn. Now it's at 70,000 shares, but I wasn't paying attention to the shares because how many videos have I made since April? This post was made April 27th. I'm not paying attention to shares and likes. But now that she drew everyone's attention to it, she says 7.2 likes. We're at 11,000 likes. I'm like, I'm not paying attention to that. I bet if you ask any of these people if they got it, they tell you no. Poor thing. But it's a great example, though. So like I said, I had to go to her page, right? And lo and behold, she is an African-American woman. Single, black woman of 3 children. That's just the end of story, right? But no, I have more to say to this because it's sad. It's sad that she doesn't believe in herself. It's sad that she has very little faith. She doesn't understand the power of manifestation. I had to get on here and do this video. It's so important, the power of manifestation. She's not the only one, though. She's just a representation of the mindset, of the psyche, of a people who have been oppressed for so long. They forget their identity. They don't know who they are. You cannot know who you are thinking like that. You don't know that you are God in the flesh? That you have the power to manifest anything you want? Do you not know that? I swear I cannot center myself around people like that. It does something to me, and there's so many ways that you can recognize when you are around a low vibrational person, yo. It's just the way they think, the things they say out their mouth. Oh, that will never happen. Just so very pessimistic. You begin to share your goals with them, your plans. God forbid you have a vision for the black community or a vision for yourself. God forbid you want to build something that's massive, so to speak, right? God forbid you want to own a multi-million-dollar house. I remember when I first moved back to New York last year. I was dating this guy, and we went for a walk. Of course, I like to go to like health food stores, and I was taking him to the health food store. He was walking with me actually to the health food store because I wanted to get me some ginger, right? I love me some raw ginger. And we're passing through this neighborhood in Brooklyn. Very nice, upscale neighborhood. You know, I love, anybody know me, know that I love me some brownstones, y'all. And I manifest this myself, right? It's speaking things into the universe. Sometimes people don't understand manifesting. They think it's about, oh, you think you're going to just say something and then boom, it's going to magically appear. Possibly. Some things do happen that way, right? We don't even understand the power of our words, whether good or bad. We just don't get it. If only we got it, though. If only we got it. We don't realize that we have the control. Much of our control is external. We think that anything that happens in our life happens to us from other people, right? It's an external locus of control. You think that the control exists outside of you. No, it is within you, my brother, my sister. But they don't believe that. So we're walking through this neighborhood, right? I'm there, and I'm like, that's going to be me one day. I'm going to own one of these houses. And the guy kind of, he snickers, and he looks at me like in disbelief. I'm like, I'm dead serious. I mean, you can laugh about it. You think it's a joke, but it's not a joke to me. I'm dead ass serious, right? And he was like, oh, you really think that you can own one of these homes? I'm like, you don't think that you can? I mean, if you want. It's a matter of if you want to, right? If you want to. Most people may not even want to own a brownstone in Brooklyn, right? Maybe they want to own a home somewhere else, and that's their preference, right? But for me, I know what I want. And he was just like in disbelief. And it was at that moment, that I lost interest, yo. I lost interest in him. And this guy, he was African. I think he was Ghanaian, if I'm not mistaken. Just like, how can you be born the greatest freaking continent? Like, come on. Like, how? You were born in Africa. There's no excuses. People come up with so many excuses. Like, oh, the leadership in Africa. Oh, we can't do this because of this. And this is where our mindset is this way because of all of these factors. And it's just like, that's the reason why you don't have shit. That's the reason why you are in the position that you are in, because you don't believe that you can rise above that. But it was like I said, at that moment, I lost interest in him. I just lost interest. I talk about beta male versus alpha male. People think it's just about, oh, a man being dominant in the bedroom. Yo, that's fucking elementary thinking. That's elementary thinking. Dominance is a lifestyle, my dear. It's a state of mind that you perpetuate in your everyday lifestyle. You believe this, you breathe this, you live it, you walk it. Many men aren't dominant. These beta males don't believe that they can. Yeah, of course there are obstacles. This is life. Take away white supremacy, you will still have obstacles. But people use sometimes white supremacy as a crutch. And they lean on it and they use it as an excuse for why they can't do anything. Oh, because the system. They look out in the distance and see a bunch of roadblocks, a bunch of obstacles. Oh, we can't do it. It's just like, I'm not of that mindset. I'm not of that persuasion. I love a challenge. I go towards challenges. I love it. Because it says something about me when I can beat the challenge, when I overcome the challenge. I feel so much empowered when I do that. And on the lines of dating, like I said, I just can't associate myself with guys like that. A lot of men think very low vibrational. And I can't submit to a man like that. I can't be attracted to a man like that. You subjugate yourself to white supremacy. You empower this dominant structure, right? You give so much power to it that you don't even see the power that's within you. It's a mindset. It's a paradigm shift that needs to take place in the psyche of black people, yo. We all know this to be true. Dr. Umar Johnson is building an institution. I support that wholeheartedly. But I understand why he has so many people who are attacking him, who don't believe that it's possible. They just don't see it's possible. His own father is doubting him. His own father like, are you kidding me? Building an African-centered school in the middle of racist white America? His father is not aloof to the fact that racism exists in America. In fact, he's not aloof. He is, I think, overpowered by it. That fact, right? It's just like it becomes bigger than you. It becomes bigger than your identity as an African person. It becomes bigger than the power that is bestowed upon you. You don't even know your own power. That a system, yes, a system that has been very well designed, orchestrated for many years, is still at play, right? I'm not trying to say it doesn't exist. Yes, it exists, but you can't give it that much power. And especially knowing that who runs the world, who dominates the system, are only a handful of people. But they have so much power and control in the minds of people, they can just sit back and relax. Meanwhile, controlling the puppets, the players in the system that perpetuate this idea of white supremacy, that feed into this idea that black people will never be able to. Oh, it's not happening. That's impossible. You have to just remove yourself from people like that. Or you just show them that it's possible. But don't allow their negativity, their bad energy to come into your space, because that shit can be contagious. Don't let it rub off on you. Know that you have the power to manifest. It's just like, how can you not know that though? Do you not know who you are as a person? We reduce our power to, just being a human being. Oh, you're just a human being. Like you're a robot. You've become a robot. Not even understanding the power of your makeup as a so-called human being, right? Human being sounds so minor, I think. It's just, it kind of reduces like the God person in us to, oh, you're just a human being, meaning that you're finite, you're gonna die, and even that belief system of, oh, you're gonna die. The spirit never dies. We have been oppressed. We have been downtrodden for so long. It has become our identity. It shaped the way we see the world. Wonder why people can't do anything. We can't overcome the situation because you don't believe that you can. I think this just is so powerful, the power of thought, you guys. That's how manifestation works, because if people understood the way thought works, right, that you can think something literally into existence, and thinking it and believing it. People want to call it magic. It's not magic. It feels like magic. It feels so surreal. People say, oh, that's voodoo. People were commenting on this same post saying, what in the voodoo shit? What in the, like, they're saying it's evil. What in the witchcraft is this? This is not witchcraft. How can manifestation be viewed as something negative? We've demonized our supernatural powers as black people, as African melanated people. I can't be around people like that. I don't want to. I can, but it's just like I don't have anything in common with people like that. That mindset, it's a frequency. You just get turned off because it's just like, okay, you exist in the parameters of your world, and my world is much different. It's a mindset. I was having this conversation with the guy that I came across the other day. I made a video about this guy about, oh, am I dating again, and beta male versus alpha male, right? I think he saw the video, you guys. He got the memo. But good though, because we're not fit for each other, yo. He's a beta male. I know a beta male. I can smell a beta male a million miles away. Not to say that we aren't products of our environment, but to only be a product of your environment and not to know that you can influence your environment, right? Like, you can be the change. Why limit yourself? Why wait on some other external force to come save you? You have the power. We begin to have like this debate, and it's just like, that's not up for debate. To think that you can't, that you don't have the power to change your situation, to make things better. Oh, you're the victim? Like, you ask a lot of men, right? This is related. You ask a lot of men that have baby mamas. That's how you know they beta males, y'all. It's just that inferior thinking. They have made themselves inferior. You don't want to blame, oh, the system made the black man inferior. Blame the system this, the system, and the black woman is working with. The system is just like, if the black man come to recognize his power in the world, yo, you will be in charge. You'll be head of your household. There's no excuse, man. There's no excuse to sit up here and allow yourself to be dominated by a system that can easily be dismantled, right? It's just about the mindset, though. Like, I like that it's a art piece. I don't know the name of the art piece, but basically it's showing you the solution, the name of the game that we all are players in, whether you want to be an active player, a passive player, or what have you. We all play a role in that system. And it basically shows how the game will end. It will be game over if we just stood up from that table. But no, we're cowering over, allowing them to play this game on our backs. Stand up, stand tall. Know who you are. Rise. That's the whole point of consciousness. You have many different sects within the conscious movement, right? The Black conscious movement. And people claim that they're conscious, but how can you be conscious though? Thinking the way you are, it's just like you can tell like inferiority, it manifests itself in many different ways, right? You've seen it, I read it to you guys at the start of this video, and how she expressed what her thoughts were, her internal process. But you hear it also and see it with black men. Oh, she won't let me see my kids. It's just like, that's another low vibrational way of thinking. Because if you were taking care of your family, if you knew how to be a man, come on. If you took your rightful position as a man and never left that, right? Because a lot of times they get thrown off their throne. They throw themselves off their throne, though. They take themselves off that throne that they are supposed to sit eloquently tall on. They get dethroned. Because even though they claim to have a degree of consciousness, wisdom, they still are impacted. They are still impacted by the woes of the system, right? Because it's very strategic. It's very sophisticated system that's well designed. And the messages that are perpetuated throughout the media, politics, many different facets of life, they also become negatively impacted by it. Just like the rappers, just like people end up in jail, just like the conscious members, the members of the conscious community aren't immune to that. And so you see these so-called conscious leaders that find themselves, oh, she won't let me see my kids, find themselves in family court. It's just like, seriously? If you walk in who you are as an African man, despite what's happening in the world around you, you know who you are. And you attract that which who you are, right? That complements who you are. But that's the mistake that they make. That's the mistake that they make. You got to get the right woman. And honestly, I think Dr. Umar would be a lot further than where he is with his mission if he had a woman. You have a lot of men that will tell you this. I would not be where I am if it wasn't for my wife. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. But you out here chasing ass. And see, he has this thing. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. Dr. Umar Johnson is doing a great mission. You know, he's on a very important task. And he says, consciousness before cookies. But I will have to correct him to say it's not about one before the other. It's about how you choose your cookies, right? And it's not even about cookies, because to say cookies is really objectifying a woman. Another way of saying pussy, right? To objectify a woman. We're not in the business of objectifying women. We're in the business of appreciating the value of a woman. To understand that a virtuous woman will enhance your life, will enhance the value that you have, will only take your vision and help you manifest that vision. But because these men, these so-called conscious men, have also, their minds have been infiltrated. They devalue the woman. They're no different than the racist white man. They sexualize the woman. Oh, she got a nice shape, right? They glorify her in that respect, but they don't appreciate her. They don't. So that's why you can't keep a woman. A virtuous woman is not going to be objectified, devalued, and disrespected. It's just not going to happen. I'm about to end this video, but before I end, it reminds me of a story that Dr. Umar Johnson, he came forth with in his interview with Kaylon Walker. For you guys don't know, Kaylon Walker is a very beautiful, handsome young black man who was facing life in prison for sexual assault. I think like 9 counts of it, right? Dr. Umar Johnson was interviewing with him, and towards the end of the interview, Dr. Umar Johnson began to self-disclose and to reach a degree of transparency to say how in his own life he's facing some issues. But what I didn't like though, because even though Dr. Umar Johnson, he said, yeah, he hasn't been able to see his daughter, and he has 2 daughters. One, I think he said, is 19 years old, and he wasn't able to see her. He said that her mother would not allow him to see her after he had made it clear that he wasn't willing to marry her. And he still doesn't see the error in that. He says that, oh, back then, he says back then, right? Oh, back then, I wasn't ready in my mind. I didn't think that it was my responsibility to marry her just because she was pregnant with my child. And I'm like, it's your responsibility to marry her. But what you're saying essentially is that she was good enough to fuck, but she's not good enough to marry. What kind of logic is that? She's good enough to mother your kids, but she's not good enough for you to marry? It makes no sense. Men taking their rightful positions on the throne as head of household. You don't want to do that. Why not? But it's just so many people within the black community, right, as individuals and as a collective. Like, there's so many fallacies, there's so many flaws. You know, it's a lot that is wrong, but it's important above everything for us to take a look within ourselves, right? To see the flaws within ourselves. Even the conversation I was having with that guy that I met the other day after my cap and gown photo shoot, just like, it's so easy for him to see the flaws in other people when he himself has created bastard children, perpetuating the cycle. But you're so engrossed in and fulfilling a mission of saving the black community. No, to save the black community is to save your own family first, the one that you create, that you have responsibility over, to nurture the family. How can you gain respect from anyone if you don't love yourself enough to love the mother of your children, to truly love her, and to know how to resolve interpersonal conflict? We're talking about manifestation. And it boggles my mind to just see how we, on one hand, we put so much emphasis on, oh, we got to eat healthy. And that's important. We got to eat healthy. We got to partake of this food. We can't eat pork. I feel like it's just, it's a trend, right? It's a movement. People are doing what's popular. But what is that really doing, right? You are overemphasizing the importance of what you put in your body, and yes, that's important, but at the expense of what? Like, why can't we thrive in all areas of our lives? Physical health, emotional health, mental health, even more important, financial health. They all tie in together. And to know that you can manifest whatever it is you set your heart and mind to. You're worried about what you're putting in your body. Worry about the energy. Focus on the energy that you surround yourself with. Because sometimes people, you're hanging around in circles just because a person has a certain appearance of consciousness, but deep down inside, it's not right. Because you can tell a person by the fruits that they bear. Look at the fruits. We're winning over here. I did not know, like I said, I did not know that post, I did not know that post went viral. But it came clear when so many comments were being made and people were sharing it. And of course, when a post like that goes viral, which that's not the only post. Like, I get a lot of my posts go viral. That's why I guess I don't think I really pay attention to it. I notice my numbers going up, but my numbers are always going up. That's just going to happen because, you know what you're capable of, and you just be it. You just be great. It doesn't seem out of the ordinary. Other people can admire you and say, oh, you're extraordinary, and not taking those compliments, right? But to know who you are is just to be it, to walk in it. Don't need approval. That's a wonderful thing about just knowing who you are. I can go on on this, you guys. But that's so important. Knowing who you are. Walking in your glory. Unashamedly, unapologetically. That's a great place to be, you guys. Be undefeated. Because you are. But you have to believe it, though. You have to believe it, people. On that note, I'm going to end this video. I'll catch you guys later. Have a great day.